Part 37. Exploring the World, starting from the discovery of the White Bone Dragon Pond. Author, Xuanhuan Pian Hai. Chapter 361. The barrage was still very lively, and the chat between Yeshi and Tu Gong did not stop, but continued to talk to each other, one sentence after another. So that's how it is. No wonder, I once tried to find the laws of this world but failed. In the end, I found that this world is nothing but chaos. It turns out that's how it is. Tide, it is indeed a tide. Unfortunately, with my strength, I cannot detect it in the whole world. I don't know what these tides are about. Immortal, this planet is not only dangerous because of the tides below zero, there are also countless monsters in the deep sea. The deeper you go into the sea, the more terrifying these monsters become. In the end, I don't know what's going to happen in the end. This landowner looks very pitiful. By Vuchain, he is just a small god. It is rare to be able to achieve this level. If he had not encountered this mountain, he would definitely not be able to survive in this world. The deep sea is indeed dangerous. You must have not forgotten the feeling of a terrifying leviathan suddenly emerging from a dark place, right? You may not believe it, but the place where we encountered Leviathan was only in the shallow waters of the deep sea. I dare not think about what we will encounter further down. I wanted to persuade Lao Ye not to explore any more, while unable to restrain his curiosity. One thing to say, it's useless even if you try to persuade me, so don't put so much psychological pressure on yourself. Yeshi nodded. It makes sense that Tutagong didn't go out to explore very far. Just for his small physique, he was lucky to have found such a good place and was able to survive. You made this shrine from the original body, or? This shrine can connect to the land under your jurisdiction. Yeshi's every word was an affirmation, which shocked Tutagong a little, but only a little, because the person in front of him was an immortal, and it was normal for immortals to have this kind of ability. How can I see it? Why can't I see it? You can tell it with your eyes, you don't have eyes. Climb for me. The landlord nodded. Yes, thanks to this divine stone of good fortune, we can continue to protect the people on that land. Otherwise, I am afraid that I will be ashamed of them. What he said was true, and he was very sincere, which made the audience in the live broadcast room sigh, and many emotional ones even had red eyes. Yeshi nodded, then was silent for a while. In this case, can you locate the location of Dongsheng Shenzhou based on the shrine? If possible, I can give you a ride when I get out. Yeshi's tone was not as joking as usual, but he spoke very seriously and seriously. I'm afraid I will let down your kindness, immortal. There is no way. Dongsheng Shenzhou seems to have disappeared from this world. I just hope that the immortal can take me away when he leaves and put me on the land casually. Yeshi lowered his eyes for a while, then raised his head. Then I'll take you to my home planet. If you want to find me then, you can. Thank you, immortal. The landlord is very polite. And after that, Yeshi said goodbye to the other party. He planned to go around in the deep sea for a few times to find out what was going on this planet. Great, I just like this kind of ending. Don't tell me that the happy ending is tacky. This only shows that you have no taste. Do you understand? Yes, I just like this kind of happy ending for everyone. Oh, you're in a state of mind everyone is happy, we are all unhappy. Get ready, let's all feel the pressure from the deep sea. I heard that this is the latest version of super technology. Let's get ready. You can also watch the live broadcast and be immersed in it, as if you were there in person. Thank you. Reminder, I feel the fear of being chased by the live broadcast. Stop chasing me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're right, we should worry about ourselves, after all. Brother, yes, live broadcast room has always been a drain on the audience, covering face and crying. Yeshi left happily. He planned to take the entire planet with him before leaving. Because the system said. The wealth represented by this planet was beyond imagination. Yeshi was very worried that if he didn't pack up this planet and leave, the profiteer Tomcat would come here. Joke. He has always had a share in picking up other people's wool, and no one else has had a share in picking out his own wool. But Yeshi was still quite anxious about how to pack up this planet and take it away. Because he only has 18 feasible methods now. What if he fails 17 times? Out of this willingness, Yeshi planned to take a walk in the deep sea to see if he could find a lot. In the process of going to the sea, why did he feel that he was riding a white tiger into the sea and had a strange feeling? So I kicked the opponent away, then took out the submarine given by the system, went in directly, and turned on the submarine to dive into the deep sea. This relieved many worried people. After all, going down in such darkness is like free fall, and no one can resist it. However, it can only be said that they are relieved. The Gamma My4 star is different from the normal ocean. In general, the lower you go in the ocean, the fewer organisms there are. But in this place, the further down you go, the busier the sea becomes. Usually I don't fly a few times. A strange-looking fish banged into the submarine. The sudden loud noise startled the netizens who were paying full attention to the live broadcast. This kind of thing has not happened once or twice. There is no way that if something happens too often, you won't be frightened. However, after this incident, we have exercised each other's psychological endurance, and mothers no longer have to worry about their children's ability to withstand stress. The further down you go, the temperature gradually returns to normal seawater temperature. And there are more and more kinds of life. It's a pity. Not only are these creatures not beautiful at all, but they are also extremely scary in appearance, making the audience not want to appreciate it at all. To them, the quiet and beautiful seabed looks like a ghost. However, some kind people still ask these poor viewers who watched this live broadcast to show them the way to Atlantis. That time, the scenery in the sea really perfectly matched everyone's imagination. We have reached 5,000 meters. This submarine is not bad. Several big guys chased me and bit me without breaking the shell. It's true that I didn't break the shell of your submarine, but I think my courage will be blown away. Brother, I have tasted your bitter bile, vomit. Can you two perform outside? I suggest you get out. Oh, there seems to be something new. Yeshi stopped the submarine. Are you in charge of calling things? Please call it a monster. Exploring the world, starting from the discovery of the white bone dragon pond. Author, Xuanhuan Pian Hai. Chapter 362. When Yeshi entered this height, he noticed that there was a big guy squatting here, a very huge deep-sea creature. The audience followed Yeshi's line of sight and saw an ugly, flat monster floating in the deep sea that also made a terrifying cry. It doesn't look like there's any threat. That's weird. The large creature that was originally swimming around without any attack tendency appeared in the water when Yeshi appeared. The big creature instantly rushed towards Yeshi like a bow and arrow from its string. That speed really blinded the eyes of many viewers, especially Yeshi, who had his back turned to the big thing playing with his small submarine. Of course, even the stupidest person knows that there is no need to worry about Yeshi. He just silently sheds tears of sympathy for this big monster without eyes. I know that another underwater creature is going to be lost. As expected. There was no need for Yeshi to take action at all. It hit an empty wall directly, and then hit his head and bled. He died on the spot, and then a rotting corpse floated in the deep sea. Yeshi's autonomous protective shield didn't even raise a speck of dust, and that weird-looking sea beast was gone. I sorted out what I needed. Yeshi turned around and looked at the big thing in front of him. He gently moved the sea water in front of him to move it out so as not to block his own way. Then he said to the camera, "Okay, I've got my things. Let's go see that big guy now." The expressions of the audience in the live broadcast room are like this. Family, what happened? Are we hallucinating? Isn't this monster who died on the spot a big man? Based on the information currently known, there is a high probability that we are mistaken. Then what exactly is Lao Ye talking about? Yashi held a submarine luminous instrument in his hand, and then went in the dark direction in front of him. Although it was indeed dark at first and I couldn't see my fingers clearly, soon, the bottom of the sea started to light up. A huge sea snake is wrapped around a sea tree, looking like an ancient product from mythology. Yashi decided it right away. This tree and the sea serpent are from heaven. There are too many things related to heaven in this planet, but the planet itself has nothing to do with heaven. Ding, congratulations to the host, the exploration of the Gamma MY4 star map has increased by 10%, and the overall progress is now 80%. Ding, congratulations to the host for unlocking the third puzzle of Gamma MY4 star. The reward is 100 points of merit, x10 of merit copper coins, x10 of hanging jade, x100 of superconducting ore, and illustration of the map of Gamma MY4 star, Tarpo snake, copper yin tree, and heavenly garden fragments. Gamma MY4 star illustrated book, Tarpo snake, copper yin tree, fragments of heaven. Darpo snake, this is a kind of spiritual creature in heaven. Although it is not very popular with the heavenly officials, it is indeed a specialty of heaven. Only heaven has this kind of spiritual snake. In the legend, it is said that it owns Nuwa. Of course, the bloodline is fake, but it can indeed nourish yin and nourish the skin, and nourish the kidneys. This refers to the immortal water, and it can also cultivate a very special spiritual tree. The copper yin tree, it is still a specialty of the heaven. There is no semicolon except the heaven. Because the heaven was shattered, the Talva snake coiled around it, and the two fell into the deep sea together. There were copper coins growing on this tree, but it is applicable to the 3 realms and can be used in the 6 realms. It can accumulate merit for your future life or previous life. Every copper coin produced is merit, but after use, its yin qi will also increase greatly and gradually move towards ghosts and immortals. Fragment of heaven, although there is only a little bit, it is indeed a fragment of heaven, but it is just a fragment from a small unknown corner. Even so, it still has a trace of the charm of heaven, which can be imprinted on the magic weapon and then suppress Wuji. Fortune copper coin, it comes from the copper yin tree, but it is inexplicably intertwined with this planet, causing it to be completely different from before. The yin qi has been washed away, but there is a trace of the brand of this planet. To be specific, it is if you use this copper coin, you will be marked by this planet. Superconducting ore, there is an extremely rich vein of wealth under the deep sea. The veins are all filled with superconducting ore. Therefore, an extremely strange scenic spot is formed on the seabed, and there, it is also the paradise of the entire ocean monsters. When Yashi heard the last sentence, he finally knew where the final destination of this trip to Gamma MY4 was. As for where the other mineral veins were, there was no need to continue searching. Because he plans to move everything along with the planet. But Yashi was still very curious about the secrets of this planet. Not only is he curious, but he also feels that the secret may have a lot to do with heaven. Yashi thought of this and pointed to the snake tree in front of him. Now you know why I said there was a big guy. This is what's in front of us. Compared with this guy, the one you saw is only 1/10 the size. But even though it looks scary, it is actually a harmless spiritual snake. It should have fallen from the heaven, including the tree it is coiled in. These are old things from heaven. It seems that not only the earth gods have come to the Gamma MY4 star, but also a part of the heaven has come to the Gamma MY4 star. The question is, why are there so many things related to heaven on this planet? We need to take a look at what is on the bottom of the deep sea next. Yashi aimed the camera at the glowing copper coin tree and the big snake that had been hovering on the tree. The combination of these two huge creatures, especially in the deep sea, gave people an extreme sense of beauty. Even the ugly Garuda snake became much more beautiful because of a little bit of dim light. As for the main body, although it is a bit ugly, it is definitely not an evil creature, but has a sense of orthodox heavenly majesty. Yashi returned to his submarine again. And the audience was still thinking about the Garuda snake and the copper yin tree that Yashi introduced. It would be great if heaven had not fallen. This barrage was sent out, and it instantly attracted the approval of many people. The following people added their own opinions. Yashi sank his mind into the sea. He was not the kind of arrogant person who went to a strange place on a strange planet and the planet was particularly dangerous without any assumptions. Capsizing in a ditch was something that Yashi could not imagine. 6,000 meters. 8,000 meters. 10,000 meters. Soon the ocean was so dark that nothing could be seen, as if falling continuously in the void. If Yashi had not been constantly calculating the distance of the fall, many people would have been unable to bear it. Despite this, many people still felt their scalps tingling. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Exploring the world, starting from the discovery of the white bone dragon pond. Author, Xuanhuan Pian Hai. Chapter 363. We are about to enter another ocean world. After passing 20,000 meters. Yashi looked up at the live broadcast room and said this. In one fell swoop, he calmed down many friends whose hearts were pounding, and then the curiosity in their hearts reached the extreme. So is there any reason why this planet suddenly froze? And the reason why the earth god and the mountain god ended up here? Also, there are reasons why those things in heaven fell here. I have a very strange hunch. Is it possible that the cause of these three problems is the same? Tomcat, impossible. Yashi gradually slowed down the speed of the submarine. To be honest, it was indeed produced by the system, and it must be a high-quality product. This submarine has been attacked all the way, and it was able to survive well to a depth of 20,000 meters. The 20,000 meter deep sea looks relatively deep, and sounds relatively deep, but on this planet with an entire ocean, it can only be said that we have just reached the shallow water area. And further down from here, you can get a glimpse of the nature of this planet. Yashi deliberately stayed here for a while and explained to everyone. Then he drove the submarine all the way down. After passing through a green forest, the light suddenly brightened, but it was not the light of the luminous creatures in the ocean, but the light from the stone mountain. Arrive. From here further down. As the system said, the most important place on this planet is also the ore area of superconducting ore. An upside-down mountain. Elements of surprise. Probably not, but this place feels really awkward and weird to me, as if the space is reversed. Tomcat, it feels right, space is indeed reversed, superconducting ore, this is a large area of superconducting ore. Rubbing hands, the top ore in the entire universe is of immeasurable value. Oops, why didn't I find such a planet at that time? Although it is a bit dangerous, it is both a primitive ore and a superconducting ore. Ah! So wonderful. It's okay, don't worry, it may be bombed soon, don't worry, Brother Ye will take action. Tomcat, this, little Poseidon doesn't need it. What a precious thing. If you don't like it, you can give it all to me. I bought them all. Except for a few people who responded to Tomcat, the others were just making noise and didn't think it was anything important. Yashi sneered when he saw the calculation made by Tomcat. Oh! He could hear the sound of the abacus at the bottom of the sea. It was impossible for him to let Tomcat take advantage of him. So Yashi deliberately asked the system to reduce the number of occurrences of Tomcat's name, and then headed toward the sea. This is a world hanging upside down, even the sea water is upside down. Just like a mirror. But from a visual point of view, it is simply beautiful. All the hanging mountains are suspended in the air and do not fall on any ground. Xianshan looks very beautiful, but what about the inside and outside of Xianshan? Densely packed monsters were laying eggs in this area. Yashi watched helplessly as the contents of the eggs burst out of the ground, and then a monster the size of a human head appeared. No matter how I looked at it, I thought it was a human head. Yashi zoomed in and took a closer look. His cold sweat rushed from the soles of his feet to Tianling Gai. His expression changed from relaxed to serious. It seems that these should be the mortals who came to this planet with the Earth Lords. All these mortals were used as breeding nests for monsters, and the ones that grew out were also deformed species. These are the heads. A strange life born from a human body. The corpses of these people are still absorbing nutrients, and then they are pregnant one by one. This is simply a monster's lair of explosives. It doesn't look like something natural. Yashi's tone was very determined. The people watching in the live broadcast room were also very frightened, especially the terrifying creatures with deformed shapes that kept passing through the hanging mountain. It can be said that they completely challenged the limit of their psychological endurance. If Brother Ye really wants to go in, forgive me for not being able to accompany him. If I continue to watch the live broadcast, I might go into shock. Almost, let me know when you go in, I will exit first, otherwise there will be no room for me in the hospital bed. It's a pity, you probably can't do what you think, because these monsters are coming. Tomcat, I feel the aura of the little Poseidon. These beings seem to have a hobby of hunting humans, responsibilities. I won't say anything else, but humans, are you sure Brother Ye is still a human? Yashi and Xianshan looked very close, but in fact they were very, very, very far away. Therefore, it takes a while for the breath to escape. When the human breath slowly spread along the sea water to Xianshan, the monsters all boiled. They come out in droves, so densely packed that there is no end as far as the eye can see. Each one is too long for the audience and makes people want to vomit. Many people who watched it shivered and quickly closed the live broadcast room, and then breathed a sigh of relief. Now I finally know why those leviathans came out in full force. It turns out it's because Brother Ye is human. Don't tell me, if this trend continues, I feel that there is going to be a mass extinction of life on this planet. I don't know if the sky will explode in the end. Infinite Heavenly Lord, believe in Yeshen. Yeshi originally wanted to tell everyone what these things were and why they were rushing towards him, but he saw so many speechless barrages. He chuckled a little. He may not be able to guarantee other planets, but this planet is definitely impossible to blow up. After Yeshi set the flag, he felt relaxed all over, and then his scalp became numb. It seemed that his spiritual sense made him aware of something in the future. Impossible, absolutely impossible. Yeshi put aside the time that just passed by so quickly. Then he threw out all the big treasures on his body. Let's see which one has the best pets. Ilong appeared dizzy on the bottom of the sea. Seeing the monsters rushing in front of him, he became furious and roared. The sound shattered the monsters one by one. Others are not willing to give in too much. Especially the 7-day cicada. The destructive power was so great that it was indeed a cicada of destruction that could destroy 7 worlds. It simply turned the surrounding area into a vacuum. The bronze divine vine is different from popular customs. It chose to absorb all the monsters it caught as nutrients. Needless to say, by who? All there is to do is kill, kill, kill. Exploring the world, starting from the discovery of the white bone dragon pond. Author, Wo Yi Pian Hai. Chapter 364. The huge white tiger rampaged among these monsters, attracting a lot of firepower and attention. Certainly. It was not as eye-catching as Ilong at all. A breath of dragon's breath not only cleared the surrounding area for 1,000 meters, but also blew it directly to the hanging mountain, destroying all the nests that breed monsters in the hanging mountain. While Yeshi was leisurely, he looked through these hanging mountains, through these cannon fodder, and looked at the huge creatures inside. Why is it that broken abyss again? The lingering ghost belongs to yes. But happy. The monsters in this abyss are actually pushed to the corner by this planet just like heaven. I'm so happy. Gamma My4 star, you are worthy of it. Yes, she really wanted to laugh, and he actually laughed out loud in the end. And also shared this good news with the majority of netizens in the live broadcast room. Let me go, both the abyss and heaven are suppressed by the Gamma My4 star. What is the origin of this planet? I can feel Lao Yes happiness, and so am I, ha 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 ha. Tomcat, the appearance of so many top-grade ore veins in Gamma My4 star can illustrate this point. Ah, my Gamma My4 star, your blue cat is here. Virtuous Taoist priest, climb for me, this is mine, mine, all mine. Yes, she glanced at the ids who wanted to pick his own peaches, chuckled, and silently added the 52nd one to his 51 alternatives. Then he walked through a restricted area created by his pet, just like playing in the underwater world, slowly making the audience want to push up. In particular, yes, she would stop from time to time to point to a place and explain to the audience which adventure place he picked up XXX. Many people gritted their teeth and rushed to the scene, eager to go on an adventure right away. Anyway, among the 10 worlds, exploration is already a very popular thing. Especially on Blue Star, this craze for exploration has caused people to no longer be satisfied with exploring in Blue Star. Instead, they are gradually causing harm to other planets in the solar system, such as Mars, which has the most difficult life. The Blue Star people who are currently exploring Mars are exploring Mars while watching the live broadcast. Just compared to Yeshi's adventure. The appearance of these humans is too embarrassing, and if they choose to follow Yeshi's expedition route, the ending, no one who has been there will survive. Yes, no one survived. This made the Blue Star people realize more deeply when Lao Ye started to be a non-human being. In addition, a map of restricted areas was provided for Mars explorers, wherever Yeshi's expedition passed or even passed by, or even on the edge, do not go, otherwise you will die. Certainly. Yeshi actually knew or didn't know about this matter, but it didn't matter. Yeshi admired Ilong's graceful figure and sighed loudly. Sure enough, Ilong is still more powerful. It's a pity that I didn't bring the big one with me this time, otherwise I probably wouldn't have taken action. You think so, little Ilong? Yeshi said the last sentence while looking at the little Ilong who had resumed his leisurely life and started partying with soy sauce. I feel a bit like I am provoking Xiao Ilong, what do you think? No doubt, this is using the provoking method, ha 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 ha, my poor little Ilong. Although we shouted loudly, the little Ilong still fell into the pit. So, have you ever thought about a problem, that is, no matter how loud you shout, the little Ilong can't hear it? Originally, this Ilong just took a few breaths casually with the intention of paddling. But when I heard Yeshi say this, his entire dragon pupil suddenly stood up, and his entire dragon body soared into the air. With a roar, boundless brilliance bloomed from his body. The shining white light was like the sun, melting all life. More than that, the little Ilong was inspired to fight. I saw him walking like a dragon, with a cold light flashing in his eyes. Call for wind and rain. The innate power from the dragon itself set off turbulent waves on the bottom of the sea. The wind and rain even fell into the Xianshan mountain, completely wiping out all the beings that poked their heads out. Roar. After releasing a big move, the little Ilong shook its tail proudly, then looked back at Yeshi, as if to say, you don't need to take action even if I'm here. Yeshi looked at the other person's eyes and couldn't help but cover his face, suppressing the sound of laughter. Little Ilong, Ilong, someone is beating your sap behind you. It's a pity that Xiao Ilong didn't connect to Shangyashi's live broadcast room. As a dragon who climbs the Kunlun sacred tree every day, he really has no experience in the outside world. He thought that the outside world was the same as Yeshi's. So, when he was suddenly bitten from behind by a leviathan, the entire dragon is in a sluggish and unimaginable state. Then, the majesty of the real dragon suddenly burst out, and the dragon's horns directly withstood the idiot who tried to offend the real dragon. This is an undersea monster nearly 100 meters long. Gamma My4 star specialty. A long thing like a snake, but the head looks like a split shark. Judging from the appearance. Let the audience understand what it means. Appearance is justice. These leviathans are the special monsters of Gamma My4. It seems that this planet has produced such strange and weak life forms. If that's the case, how do you suppress the abyss fragments and the heaven fragments at the same time? What exactly is the deep sea monster that the Earth God said? The tide of monsters mentioned by the system, could there be something different in the deeper depths? Yeshi watched as the little Elong smashed the opponent into a pulp like a bun, and the surrounding area had been completely cleared. All the monsters that seemed to have no end were all dead. And a bronze divine vine excitedly absorbs the monster's corpse and thrives. Okay, it's over. It seems that we can go to the Xianshan area through this invisible barrier. Yeshi pointed to the front and said. In case everyone ends up in this place, be sure not to try to get close to it. Going in from here should be the core of Gamma My4. However, if you want to get in, there is no other way except killing them all. But, there is a high probability that you will all be killed. Thank you God for your kind reminder. I don't even dare to go down into the ghost cave now. What are you telling me? Let's wait until I conquer the second restricted area first before talking about alien planets. No more high probability, please change the high probability to 101%. These dispersed monsters have a lot of abyssal alienation on their bodies. They are terrifying, especially when there are a large number of them. They can be called a natural disaster of death, but it seems that these beings are driven by the much weaker Leviathan. Why is that? Is Gamma My4 star so special? Unnamed, does this planet have its own consciousness? No, the Gamma My4 star has not derived its own consciousness. The planet's consciousness is still just blank, not even a chaotic body. Yeshi directly denied this speculation. Then I experienced what I have been thinking about for a long time, riding a dragon. Elong feels really good. The superconducting mineral vein suspended in the sea water is right in front of you. Yeshi has already seen it. There is no water in these mountains. But there is. Gamma My4 star's local alien technology. That was the reason why Yeshi's spaceship was attacked. Exploring the world, starting from the discovery of the white bone dragon pond. Author, Xuanhuan Pian Hai. Chapter 365. Yeshi looked at the emerald green alien fortresses, and the artillery was slowly starting to operate. And the direction it was aiming at was exactly the direction of Yeshi. I found you, the culprit. It was you who forced my lovely spaceship to land on this planet. Damn, it's actually on the bottom of the sea. Is there any science? Isn't this bullying an honest person? I always thought it was a cannon on the sea surface, but it turned out that I underestimated this planet. So why build a cannon in the deep sea for 20,000 years? Is this because you have nothing to do? These cannons in front of me are the ones that surrounded my spaceship when I was driving it to land on the Gamma My4 star. If it weren't for the fact that the high technology and energy in my spaceship have almost reached an endless level, it would be impossible to maintain under such an attack. As for why these alien cannons are built on the seabed, it is because only in the deep sea can there be energy that can activate the weapons. And the right to license. Amid the discussion in the barrage, Yeshi also pointed at the countless green calibers that were gradually facing him and said very calmly. How to say it? After experiencing the situation where hundreds of billions of turrets were attacking him, no one could sit still and not change his expression. Even if he was reminded countless times, this is fake, it is countless light years away from us, this is fake, this is a live broadcast. There is no way to erase the fear and panic in his heart, because they have no ability to deal with it. So seeing Yeshi talking freely under the hundreds of billions of stars, under the hundreds of billions of turrets, ignoring what was in front of him, while his calves were shaking, he raised his thumb. As expected of brother Ye, there is no concept of fear in his mind. My God. Looking at what was in front of him, Yeshi was not really afraid. But to say that he was not afraid was really overthinking. He just said that what was in front of him could not threaten him. This is the fact. Although it looks very scary. But as long as the opponent's energy supply is cut off, all the running weapons can be directly interrupted. And Yeshi had sent his pet to cut off the energy supply a long time ago. Otherwise, how could he be so calm? Ka. The starlight and the turrets sounded at the same time. And then suddenly, these weapons disappeared instantly without any subsequent direct interruption. Yeshi was not shocked. He knew that this was because Behu cut off the opponent's energy supply and killed all the Leviathans native to the Gamma My4 star. This pure killing weapon has never been fully activated, and its personality is quite funny, so it has been ignored by many people intentionally or unintentionally. Until this time, when a giant beast's claws instantly destroyed a turret with power, and then destroyed it one after another, people really understood the meaning of hunting gods. The giant beast planet is also a treasure planet, but unfortunately, like this planet, ordinary people will die if they go there. Otherwise I really want to go for adventure. By Vuchain, brothers, this wave is not a loss. Why not give it a try? If you win, you will reach the peak of the universe, and if you lose, you will only be a hero. In 18 years I will take over the reincarnation business, only for blue star people. Thank you. It's a pity that the giant beast planet exploded, and it will take hundreds of millions of years to grow. My evaluation is that it is better to go to Baidu. If you go there, you can't come back, and you may not even be able to reincarnate. This is a permanent solution and a permanent farewell to future troubles. The netizens in this live broadcast room are really good at talking, don't you think so, brother Doorframe? Yeshi looked at the fierce-looking white tiger, who seemed to have returned to the giant beast planet and was firing at full power. He raised his eyebrows slightly, and then he was sure that he had raised it for so long and had not worn down the other party's spirit. Okay, just dismantle it, no need to continue. After all, these weapons must be controlled by people. If no one controls them, there is no threat at all. Yeshi called Behu back. He had already walked into the Xianshan area and was feeling the peculiarity of this area. It was a magical thing. With Yeshi's ability to control himself, after coming to the superconducting ore vein area, his body would be attracted by the superconducting ore, and then he would gradually lose his ability to control himself and be controlled by the vein. Of course, if Yeshi chooses to struggle hard, he can struggle out, but it is not necessarily the case for other lives. So that's why Leviathan can control lives that are stronger than himself. It is controlled by superconducting ore. How do they control superconducting ore? Could it be that the series of strange things I encountered on this planet are all because the superconducting ore has become a spirit? This guess is ridiculous, but it is the only reason that can explain the current situation. Impossible. Yeshi has superconducting ore in his hand. He can analyze the properties of this ore. There is nothing in it that can breed self-awareness. Unless there are not only large superconducting ore veins, but also large biological composite ore veins. System, scan the hanging mountain in front of you again, see if you missed anything. Ding, the system is scanning. Ding, after the 1981st scan, all the hanging mountains not only have the same breadth because of the superconducting ore veins, but also there are biological composite ores deep in the superconducting ore veins. The signal of this ore is completely covered by the superconducting ore, and even the heaven and the abyss have not detected it. Ding, after inspection, it was found that in the deepest part of the superconducting ore vein, there is a core. This is the existence of two top cosmic ores, and it is not just a small amount of two ores, but two complete large veins. Ding, after a detailed inspection, the following points were found. 1. The superconducting ore vein only has a surface layer and there is real super 1. All the minerals in the biological composite mineral vein have been devoured. 2. The body of this unknown creature contains mythical substances and fragments of unknown existence, and it has a companion spirit treasure. 4. This Taishi thing was born by chance, not arranged by others. Ding, urgent reminder, urgent reminder, urgent reminder, congratulations to the host, you have seen the most incredible existence in the world. Compared with your current level, it is like a mayfly in the river seeing a real dragon in the sky. Please pay attention, please pay attention. Next, the system will provide several options, the host can refer to them to decide his next step. Ding ding ding. It is recommended that the host be cautious. Think. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Exploring the world, starting from the discovery of the white bone dragon pond. Author, Xuanhuan Hai. Chapter 366. This was the first time Yeshi heard such a cautious reminder from the system. And every reminder is more urgent and cautious than the last time. By the end, the text in front of me had turned bright red, followed by many exclamation marks. System, what on earth is this? Is the situation already so serious? Ding, host, you are like a mayfly on the ground seeing a real dragon in the sky. Please make the most serious choice. This is an incredible existence. This is a corner of the essence of the universe. This is the embodiment of the Supreme Tao. Such an existence can only evolve among infinite possibilities. Even after the endless multiverses and higher dimensions as numerous as the sands of the Ganges, this is still one of the most incredible existences since the beginning of the concept of existence. Ding, in the face of such an existence, host, you have the following options. 1. Turn a blind eye, pretend you don't know anything and see nothing, turn around and leave this planet directly. 2. Go in and talk to this being. Please make sure that when making this choice, the system is not completely sure that the self-awareness of this being has appeared. Therefore, the host is asked to make a self-judgment. 3. I don't know how to summon the host's future body, nor the system. Ask the host himself. 4. The Hangsha number universe is endless, but the number of gods that can be unified by all the lines is very small. The system can provide the opportunity to ask questions to the gods. There are only 4 gods to choose from in this question, and there are only 3 questions that can be asked. 5. Contact heaven/abyss, the system can provide contact information. Yeshi looked at the system options. I really feel the true feelings of the system. This does not mean that I didn't feel true feelings before, but it means that I was too cautious this time. And regarding the system, this beginning, things derived from biological composite ores, superconducting ores, breed life. He's not even sure whether he's alive or not. He's still like this, and he has to figure it out on his own. It seems we have really encountered a big problem. I even gave him the opportunity to ask questions to Tianzun. I have never seen such a generous system before. Summoning my future body, the system really has the honor to make this choice. You don't even know Tongzi, why do you think I know? These 5 choices. Is there no reward for the first choice? As soon as Yeshi communicated with the system, he clearly noticed that the system was stuck for a moment. Ding, everything else on this planet is a reward from you, the host. Yeshi nodded when he heard the words. Very satisfied with the answer I got. But choose the first one? That's impossible. Adventure is all about excitement. Although it was exciting before, From a visual point of view, it was not that good. But this time, he hasn't gone in yet, he's just hanging here, and he can already feel the blood rushing upwards. So, Yeshi looked at these 5 choices carefully. Finally, he looked at the camera and said, "To be honest, since the expedition, although I have encountered many dangers, I have also encountered many novel events. But there's no way to compare it with what's happening before me. This is probably the most dangerous and unknown experience I have encountered since my exploration. The Gamma MY4 star is indeed incredibly special, and this specialness finally gave me a glimpse of it here. I'm afraid I won't be able to explain too much this time. Even after entering, we won't say anything anymore, so everyone is mentally prepared. Also be prepared for the live broadcast to be disconnected." Yeshi said these words very seriously. In the live broadcast room, everyone was having fun. After all, everyone in the room spoke nicely and was talented. But when Yeshi's voice slowly sounded, no matter what situation they were in, everyone stopped what they were doing, even barraging, and just listened to this serious voice that was completely different from the previous jokes. Then he looked at his relatives at home and had no idea what was going on. As soon as I finished the last sentence, the emotions that many people had been unable to suppress surged out in an instant. "What happened, Yeshen? What on earth did you see and why did you say such serious words?" "No, Yeshen, we are used to being hit hard by your live broadcast room every 3 days, just let us bear all the problems. The live broadcast is disconnected, this is too scary, in fact, we don't really want to know what is going on here, come back, we will broadcast live on Blue Star, otherwise, you can go to Uranus or Neptune." "That's right, we haven't shown Atlantis under the sea yet, woohoo, what kind of ghost place is there in front of us, why does brother Yes say such things?" "Yeshi. He just looked a little serious. And he didn't say that he would die if he went in. Why do these netizens think that they are going to die when they see him being serious? After all, he is still a god. If it doesn't work out, he can still be reborn from his own memory, or as the system says, even if it doesn't work, he can still have his own future to help him out." Yeshi thought carefully for a moment, then looked at the live broadcast room, and found that this group of people began to cry. In fact, it's not that the netizens' reaction is so exaggerated. Anyone who has watched Yeshi's previous live broadcast and listened to what he said now will feel like he's going to die. However, Yeshi didn't continue to care about it, but waved his hand towards the live broadcast room. "Ding, host, what choice did you make?" "Yeshi. What choice?" He complained about the system unhappily. "Master, why can't I have all of them? I want all of them." "Ding, but host, the first choice is not compatible with the following 4 choices." Yeshi glanced at it. Compatible. His clone stepped into his own memory world, and then used the biological composite ore to instantly pinch a brand new Yeshi, and almost no one could notice it. Just as he walked forward, his body had been replaced, and the original body rode the dragon and ran away directly, and the one left behind was the new Yeshi pinched by the biological composite ore. "System, your wisdom really makes Tongza deeply admire you." Biological composite mineral, Yeshi chuckled. "If you read 2 more novels, you will know. The son of a rich man should not sit in the hall. I have always been very cautious, how could I turn over in the gutter here? I said, I want them all. I want this Teishu, the opportunity of Tianzun's question, and the contact information of Tianting and Abyss." Ding, congratulations to the host, the exploration of Gamma MY4 star map has improved. Exploring the world, starting from the discovery of the White Bone Dragon Pond. Author, Wo Yi Pian Hai. Chapter 367. Ding, congratulations to the host. The exploration of the Gamma MY4 star map has increased by 20%. The overall progress is now 100%. Ding, Congratulations to the host on the successful completion of this exploration. All the Gamma My4 star maps have been explored. Please check the corresponding maps on your own. Ding! Congratulations to the host for unlocking the fourth puzzle of Gamma My4 star. As a reward, you will get the chance to ask Tianzun 3 questions. X1, the contact information of Heaven/Abyss. X1, all resources related to Gamma My4 star except Teishu, and the map of Gamma My4 star, Teishu. Gamma My4 star illustrated book, Teishu. Teishu, calling it this way is just one of the explanations, but the two words that can best express this existence in language and writing are these two words. This is a truly immeasurable existence. There are only endless mysteries. Even Tianzun rarely encounters it. Tianzun once tried to cultivate it, but in the end there were only incomplete products. No existence can cultivate it. All appearances are origin and countless years, countless possibilities and impossibilities. The system cannot detect it accordingly. This is the only existence on the long river in all the worlds. The host is asked to make his own choice. The other rewards have been explained accordingly and will not be repeated. Yes, she saw it and heard it, but he didn't expect the system to be so good. But this also emphasizes one point. The horror of this beginning can be raised to the highest level. Tai Shang Lejun, if it were me, I would choose to leave. Lejun will choose to leave what is going on here. At the beginning, it was just about exploring an ordinary water world. Why did it suddenly change into this? I believe that Brother Ye will be able to return to Blue Star completely. I think anyone who has watched this live broadcast from head to toe can see that this ordinary water world is ridiculously terrifying from the beginning. Indeed, something was very wrong with this planet from the beginning. Yes, she looked at Xianshan. Go in slowly. And on his body, except for one piece of clothing, this clothing was still conjured. Nothing. The consciousness that was put inside was cut out to avoid hurting the main body. The main body now opened the live broadcast room in the same way, watching his biological composite or clone cautiously walk inside. All the 50-odd ways to move the planet that I prepared before are useless. In this case, Tomcat will come to this planet as soon as he comes to this planet. But I feel that judging from the other person's life-saving attitude, he probably ran away as soon as he sensed something was wrong. Clone, please continue walking inside. Don't be afraid, you are just a clone. Doppelganger. The clone felt that the consciousness coming from the main body really wanted to curse. He doesn't want to die very soon, right? And he won't die if he can. When the clone gradually penetrated into the world shrouded in layers of hanging mountains, the light on the bottom of the sea became brighter and brighter, as if the sun had set on the bottom of the sea. It reflects the surrounding hanging mountains with a sense of brilliance. And those abyss monsters and Leviathan. After Yeshi cloned himself into the Xianshan area, he did not continue to attack. He just watched from a distance. After a few glances, he left immediately, not daring to stay for a moment. It doesn't look too dangerous. Generally, the more you say this, the more. Still water runs deep, undercurrents surge, and there are many dangers you don't know about. It's just that the Mars that Lao Ye went to seems really safe on the surface, but in fact, everyone knows it. Jin Mao Bei, this place looks very ordinary and gives me a very safe feeling, as if I was staying in the Dragon Temple. Boss, I'm even more scared when you say that. Fanwuju, I have made an agreement with Mr. Fu, Po Meng, and Brother Bian to quit the live broadcast room together. We don't dare to watch it, brothers. Please continue. Let's go to the message platform together. Remember to share the news there. Both Black and White Impermanence and Living Hell King feel something is wrong. They are both dead, so what are they afraid of? Anonymous, they definitely don't feel any problem, because I don't feel anything either, haha. But this is the scariest thing. I also quit. See you next time. Tomcat, hee, this place is still reserved for the little Poseidon. I will go to other planets first. Yeshi's clone was no longer disturbed by these messy barrages. Because the system's ontology is here in Yeshi's body. In order to make his clone more serious and focused on exploring, he deliberately left only a live broadcast function in the system. Each of these people runs faster than the other. You obviously didn't feel anything unusual, but you still ran, right? Trust me so much. Yeshi had now reached the starry sky ancient road, and then hurried on. After the clone went deeper and deeper into the mountain and discovered a bottomless passage. After running wildly, the main body finally returned to his own world. Ah, it's safe. What the system said is so humming scary. Yeshi looked at the big golden crow sun above his head and breathed a sigh of relief. After thinking about it, I still feel that it is not very safe. After thinking about it, I wanted to run to the underworld or the small isolated world of Baidu. Maybe safer? Yeshizhung was thinking about how to run away when he saw the big bosses who had disappeared from the live broadcast room one by one, posting on the 10 world network platforms he had built, asking what was happening in the live broadcast room. I'm really speechless. Among them, Tomcat and Wyoming posted the most posts, and they were followed up almost in real time, followed by the two living treasures from the underworld, the living king of hell and Bai Vuchang. Yeshi laughed angrily when he saw it. Then he thought for a moment, and when he was about to hide in the isolated Baidu universe, suddenly I remembered that there was another place to hide, the abyss. The abyss is closer and more dangerous. So Yeshi slipped into the abyss without stopping. After descending dozens of floors in a row, when I finally felt that I was about to fall down again, I opened a door in my world, opening it at the entrance of the abyss on the next floor. This series of actions and practices really amazes the only system that knows about this matter. Tongzi, do you think it's possible for me to withstand the changes that will happen later? Tongzi, ding, host, this is the first time I have seen a host as cautious and brave as you, but unfortunately, the problem is beyond the scope of the system's understanding. Yeshi thought about it for a while. It's okay, I have a record. I asked Tiangong to build me an abyss ladder that can directly go down to the 100th floor, 300th floor, and 3000th floor. I heard that this is how the heavens fought in the past. I already feel a great danger on this level. I really can't go down to the 3000th floor to see if Taisha dares to come over. In addition, I also have 109 different plans. That is to say, the system has no entity and dare not give a thumbs up. Yeshi watched the live broadcast. The clone had already gone down a deep hole in a mountain of superconducting ore that was shaped like a five-fingered sky pillar. Exploring the world, starting from the discovery of the white bone dragon pond. Author, Wo Yi Pian Hai. Chapter 368. A towering five-fingered pillar appeared in the live broadcast room. It was hard to tell what color it was, or rather, this place could not be described by any color or language. This was a kind of mythological epic full of legends that made people feel breathless. From the perspective of the crowd, this five-fingered pillar seemed to have pierced through the sea water, came to the sea surface, came to the sky, and pierced through the sky. Yeshi suddenly shrank his pupils in an instant. This is... What is this thing? Have I seen this thing before? Yeshi began to recall his past memories. This impression should have appeared recently. I remember, it was in the underworld. When I wanted to see my hometown at the Wangxiangtai in the underworld, I saw the three pillars in the universe. That pillar looks very similar to the current five-fingered pillar. Are these two related? Yeshi stretched out his hand and waved it in his own world, and then an old picture appeared in front of him. That was exactly the picture he had at the Wangxiangtai. Yeshi pondered and could see some similarities, but its essence was... What is this? The 5 fingers of the Buddha, the Monkey King flew to the horizon. Is this a mineral vein? Why is it different from other mountains and not suspended in the air? It looks like this momentum is not ordinary, but Brother Ye is really fierce. Although he said it was so dangerous before, he is really moving forward without hesitation now. Yashi smiled when he saw this barrage. Everything was under his control. My memory is confused, right? I remember that Brother Ye went underground, but how come it was daytime after he went in? I mean, how come it's not a cave inside? Kick the door frame. Your common sense is not needed in the live broadcast room. Please throw it all away. Nothing you know is needed here. The clone walked into the mine. It was indeed a mine from the outside, but after walking in, there was no mine, only a vast expanse of white. I couldn't see the direction clearly, and there was no place to go. Yashi felt a palpitation from the clone, but unfortunately his real body was not there, and if it was just the clone, he couldn't feel anything unusual. Something is wrong as soon as I came in. Looking back, it's a good thing I ran fast. What on earth is this Teishu? You used so many mysterious words to describe it, but you didn't say anything specific. Ding, does the host want to choose to use 3 opportunities to ask Tianzun questions? Yashi hesitated for a moment and shook his head. Not for now. Ding, please prepare the host. Once you get close to Teishu, the signal in the live broadcast room will be very easy to break. In addition, the distance of the superposition is too far now, so it is temporarily impossible to stabilize the live broadcast room. Yashi nodded, he guessed this. It was white, and it seemed that there was no way forward at all. The clone paused for a while and continued to walk forward. But every step was submerged in the whiteness. In the end, the audience watching the live broadcast gradually lost the shadow of Yashi. So nervous, so nervous, so nervous. Do you feel that Brother Ye is not in the right state? I don't need to feel it, my state is not right either. Is there anyone who can say anything? Why is Brother Ye's back becoming increasingly dim, and why doesn't this live studio zoom in? I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared. Brother Ye disappeared. What's going on? What on earth happened? Yashi also noticed the disappearance of his clone in the live studio. And when he tried to sense the state of his clone, he saw the other person walking in there, right in the camera, but disappeared in front of everyone. Keep going inside. It looks like he's going to die anyway. Avatar. He was speechless about his original body, but he still explained. The situation here is not right. These white mists are different from what you see. These white mists are alive and derived from the same place. But the white mists have no ability to attack. It feels weird. I'll keep going inside. Fortunately, your original body didn't appear here, otherwise I don't know what I would encounter. The ore in my current body resonates with some of the ore here. You chose to use the avatar made of biological composite ore to explore this area, which is a brilliant move. Yashi touched his chin. Pondering for a while, he only had a flash of inspiration before, but now he came back to think about it and found that it was his sixth sense that made him do this. There was still a white mist. Except for the vast expanse of white. It looks like it will take a long time to walk. I can already sense the Teishu that the system mentioned, the vitality. Yashi looked at the panic in the live broadcast room and sent a barrage to comfort him. Then he chatted with the clone. Tell me more. I felt an egg. Yashi frowned. Egg, another egg. This Teishu is an egg. The egg is the embodiment of the rules of the universe, right? System. Ding, this is just a form of perception. Teishu does not have a definite appearance, it is more of a chaotic color. The vast white patch finally disappeared. The footage in the live broadcast room was finally cut off. However, Yashi sent the barrage in advance, so many people breathed a sigh of relief. I sensed the vitality of a mass of chaos. I'm going to see what the system calls Tebe now. Yashi's clone appeared in a chaotic lair. In the very middle of the nest is an egg that can be held up with 2 hands. Or a stone like an egg. A stone like jade. Yeshi secretly peeped from his clone, but except for the extremely special and advanced energy here, he couldn't sense anything else. Except for the chaos with only one piece of energy. System, you can draw 3 opportunities to ask questions with Tianzun. There's something wrong with this thing in front of you. How is it absorbing the power of this universe? No, not just this universe, but all dimensions and the power of all universes. Ding, please host, choose the one you want to ask a question among the following Heavenly Lords: Heavenly Lord, Heavenly Lord, Heavenly Lord, Heavenly Lord, Heavenly Lord. Yeshi, Lingbao. Happy New Year's Eve. May everyone have a happy year of the rabbit, full of happiness, reunion with family and friends, health and tranquility. In the new year, I will pass the exams in the city and get everything right. I will be prosperous along the way, and I will hold the beauty, male/female, back home. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Exploring the world, starting from the discovery of the white bone dragon pond. Author, Wo Yi Pian Hai. Chapter 369. Ding, the corresponding Tianzun has been selected for the host and the request message is being sent. Ding, the communication was successful, choose the simplest method for specific communication method. Ding, please ask the host to ask questions. Yeshi looked at a newly created platform in front of him. This newly created platform had only 2 users, one was him and the other was the Tianzun. I have to say that this method of communication is really modern and technological. With a thought in Yeshi's mind, the words in his heart can appear on the newly built platform. After hesitating, he asked the question he wanted to know most. Although he had no idea why Lingbao Tianzun appeared in this place, Yeshi knew that he had to ask these 3 questions very carefully. Every question must be asked with great caution. Therefore, after asking the first question and getting a quick answer, Yeshi was still slightly surprised. Answer so quickly. But after getting the answer to the question, he was still a little surprised. The first question he asked had nothing to do with anything he encountered on this expedition. What he asked was why heaven was destroyed. Lingbao Tianzun's answer is, the stone that answers every request. Yeshi knocked on the table in front of him and looked at the little Along rubbing his head in front of him. He stretched out his hand and rubbed the other person's horns. Many thoughts flashed through his mind, but he finally stopped. And then, the second question also appeared on the question platform, and Lingbao Tianzun's answer was the same as the answer to the previous question. Exactly the same. Yeshi moved his fingers slightly, and he somewhat understood what Teishu was. So as his last chance to ask a question, he asked a question that was completely unreasonable. Do you know my future self? This time Lingbao Tianzun did not answer as readily as before. Instead, he hesitated for a long time. Yeshi was not in a hurry, and just waited there slowly. After returning for a while, the third question above has finally been answered. There are 2 words on it, no. The reason for the destruction of heaven is not because of the fight with the abyss, but because of the response stone. The reason why the abyss became what it is now is because of the answer of requirement stone. Even why heaven hunts the abyss and hunts gods is because of the answer of requirement stone. A smile flashed across Yeshi's face. So, this Teishu is the stone that responds to requests. It's just that it's not the same piece as the previous one, and this one is still in its infancy. No wonder the system was so cautious before, the implications are really big enough. Yeshi thought of the last question, and after Lingbao Tianzun's answer, he glanced sideways at the system. Tongzi, tell the truth. You didn't tell me my name to get Lingbao Tianzun to agree to the 3 questions, right? Ding, no, the system itself has this permission. Seeing the system that agreed so readily, Yeshi knew that it was indeed not lying. Because in similar situations before, I was always hesitating or talking about him. I didn't expect your system to be useful. Ding, of course. Ding, the host's clone is trying to get close to Teishu. Please prepare accordingly. The consequences of each choice will be completely different. Yeshi nodded. Of course he knew this. After all, the mature body of this thing can respond to requests. Judging from the consequences of heaven's fall, this thing's response to requests is probably all the concepts of response to requests. The clone tried its best to call the main body, but unfortunately the main body had been thinking about Tianzun's 3 questions, so the answer was not very timely. In this case, the clone thought that he was going to die anyway, so he might as well go find out what was going on here early, so after hesitating for a while, he walked around the chaos nest. After finding out more, they gradually headed towards the chaos nest. At this time, the main body finally responded to the clone and told the clone all the information it knew. So that's how it is. It looks like something really amazing. Actually, you can try running here in your own body, and you may even be able to summon your future body, I don't know. When Yeshi heard the instigation from his clone, he chuckled and just wanted to have a piece of cake. You should explore your chaos nest and stop thinking about your future body. I don't even know how to summon it myself. If I really have to live and die to get out, I don't want to. The clone smiled, then his tone turned serious. Have you cut off all connections between us now? Yeshi hummed. He did this after Lingbao Tianzun answered the first question. Now he only has the ability to communicate remotely and cannot even see what is happening on the clone side. And this ability of long-distance communication is still based on the system as a medium. Well done. I definitely won't be able to get out this time. There are no intelligent individuals here at all, it's just that this primeval one is acting according to instinct. According to my observations, the things that were encountered on this planet before were only caused by the influence of Teishu on these intelligent life forms. Including this planet, including all the special performances of Gamma My4, all are due to the primordial existence in this chaos nest. Gamma My4 is an ordinary planet with so many top-level minerals in the universe, and it is also the same. Including the special tides below zero. Although the principle is not very clear, the fundamental reason is still because of this. You must be prepared. This place should only affect the seabed at first, and then a planet. It has not been bred for a long time. If it continues to spread, it will spread to galaxies, seas of stars and even more. While walking in the chaos nest, the clone told Yeshi what to pay attention to, and described all the scenes he saw in detail. So that Yeshi can completely outline everything. He outlined a quantum picture in front of him based on the description of the clone. Where the appearance of the 5-fingered pillar is the most conspicuous. And everything in the 5-fingered pillar is also manifested. However, all the previous sketches were successful, but the scenes in the 5 fingers sky pillar all failed to manifest. No matter what method was used to sketch, it was a failure. Later, Yeshi even asked Xuanhuan to remember the scenes in the 5 fingers sky pillar, but found that the memory would dissipate. Exploring the world, starting from the discovery of the white bone dragon pond. Author, Xuanhuan Pian Hai. Chapter 370. Can't this 5-finger pillar be remembered? You can't even remember Ilong's personality. This does not involve the Teishu inside. Yeshi felt it vaguely, but was still not sure. He thought for a while, called Tiangong over, and then described to Tiangong some of the conditions in the 5-finger pillar. As a result, the other party's performance was even worse than Ilong's, and he simply forgot what he heard, which led to this Tiangong constantly asking Yeshi what he said. Yeshi shook his head. Forget it, it seems that these can only be recorded in my memory. Where does this mysterious power that erases all memories come from? Does it come from the beginning? He was talking to himself in his mind, constantly speculating on various different guesses. At the same time, his voice came from the clone. Everything can be swallowed up in the chaos nest. Although I try hard to resist this devouring power, I can't resist it for long. I'm afraid this body will be absorbed by Taishu in a few hours. So are we going to contact Taishu now? Yashi hesitated for a while and shook his head. No, don't contact me yet. With the power in your body and the essence that makes up your body, I'm afraid you will be sucked dry by contact. Let's go outside first and see if we can find anything else important. Clone, okay, it's not you who will die anyway. You can say whatever you want, but I have to tell you that there is no way to find what you want here in the chaos nest. Everything here has turned into chaos, and there is no other manifestation. Form. And I found that as I stayed in the chaos nest longer and longer, the prime egg in it would sometimes move. This is not a good sign. Yeshi. Can you tell me earlier? The clone was also a little speechless. I thought so, but I just discovered that Taishu was becoming more and more active and moved again. Wait, why is it coming towards me? The clone's voice sounded a little panicked. Yeshi quickly comforted him. Don't worry, you are just a clone. It doesn't matter even if you die. Just move forward bravely. The clone was in the chaos nest, watching the Taishu egg move slightly at first, and then moving like a rabbit, which was so frightening to death. Huh, don't be nervous, don't be nervous. It's exactly what the main body said, it doesn't matter even if I explode into fireworks. Be brave. Everything has been removed from here, except for the ability to transmit sound. Even if I want to be brave, I can't be brave. Not even a sword was left for me. I have never seen such a stingy person before. The clone thought to himself while watching the vibrating egg getting closer and closer to him, and the Chinese curses flooded the screen in his heart. It's getting closer. Oh, it's about to jump in front of me, that is, in front of your clone. What should I do now? Yeshi. Why did Taishu suddenly jump up? It was clear that I didn't have any wisdom before, but now I suddenly have wisdom, right? Any request will be answered, any request will be answered. After Yeshi muttered a few words, he said to the clone. You're going to die anyway, so why not take the initiative? Clone. The most poisonous thing is the original mind. Even though he said that, he still took the initiative and put his hand on the Taishu egg that was so close at hand. I feel the beginning. I feel the life inside. The clone closed its eyes. The main body's eyes opened as wide as possible, because the system began to issue terrifying warnings in front of him. Diamond suit warning warning, there are unknown creatures tracking along the coordinates left by the system. Warning diamond suit strong warning diamond suit strong warning, there is an unknown force coming along the location left by the system. Host is ready, host is ready, host is ready. The system is about to cut off all coordinate signals. The system is about to cut off all coordinate signals. The system is about to cut off all coordinate signals. All signals have been cut off, and monitoring of unknown forces is temporarily unavailable. The host is asked to make his own decision. Yeshi looked at these warnings in bright red fonts, and had no idea that Taishu could use them just to leave a system of communication bridges. Not to mention that this Tebe didn't have any wisdom at all. This is the case without wisdom. How can it be done with wisdom? The main body is now completely unable to feel what is happening on the clone side. But now he is not as anxious as before. He has calmed down all his thoughts. Start thinking about what you should do next. And Yeshi's clone. Something happened that he couldn't even imagine. The system once said. There are 5 different ways to deal with Taishu, one of which is to summon the future body. But even the system doesn't know how to summon Yeshi's future body, so it can only place its hope on Yeshi. It's a pity that Yeshi himself doesn't know about it. He just guesses that maybe the fatal danger to his body will appear in the future life. But Yeshi would not let himself get too excited just because of his curiosity to see his future self. So he gave in. However, when the clone's hand was placed on Teishu, when Teishu continued to track forward along a point left by the system cut off all anchored coordinates. After the clone opened his eyes, he saw a life shrouded in light, and the clone seemed to see the three pillars in a trance, the three pillars that symbolize all things in the universe. Maybe this is not a life, just a light, but when this light appeared, the clone fainted directly, and didn't know anything about the next. There is an egg in Yeshi's world. But he doesn't know it yet. He is thinking about what his clone will encounter, his attitude towards this Gamma My4 planet in the future, and whether he should come back in the future. Before, in an emergency, he cut off all the connections between his clone and himself. Even if he was not killed by Teishu, he would die, because the consciousness of the original body was only residual and had no substance. Therefore, Yeshi now doesn't even know whether his clone is alive or dead, and can only wait anxiously. And by the way, he is ready to go directly to the abyss 100 or 1000 layers. But after waiting and waiting, nothing happened. Yeshi opened his eyes. His eyes were full of doubts. What happened? Are you hiding yourself intentionally? A day and a night passed, and he breathed a sigh of relief, but he had not left the abyss yet, he just went up one level. But in an instant, Yeshi's movement of patrolling the world was suddenly stunned.